It is a lovely day today here in the mountains of North Carolina, and we are going for a walk in the beautiful rhododendron, I can't talk, lake park um, at the town of Laurel Lake, uh, North Carolina. So it's a tiny, tiny town, not a very big park either. Let me go ahead and do my shares. Tell everybody where I'm at and what I'm doing. All right. And I love this park. I found it, not very long ago, just last summer. I've been walking around and hiking it ever since. It's actually more of a walk than a hike. It's not particularly challenging. But nice little park, nice little community. This is what I would call a residential trail. You know, it's very well marked. Has the blazes all along. It goes through some woods. We got a little bit of wildlife, but mostly it is a very nice residential area. And it has some history here as well. So that's where we're going today. I have an appointment this afternoon, so not venturing too far into the woods today. Not doing that. Tomorrow. Unfortunately, where I'm going tomorrow, I can't take you guys because there is no signal, or at least no consistent signal. Here at least I have my 5Gs, more or less. So nice little kind of a workout area here. And so the loop around the lake, we're going to save for last. We're not going to the lake yet. But there is a nice little catch and release lake. So you can fish in it, but you can't keep what you catch. So there's that. Apparently, as I found out, I'm not a fishing person, so not into that sort of thing. But as I found out, it's a popular way to teach your kids to fish if they are interested in it. So you take them to some catch and release place. Although you know what? Once you have caught a fish and released it multiple times, I don't think it cares anymore. That actually sounds kind of brutal. But first, we're going to take a branch of the trail that goes into the woods. Don't worry, there's plenty to see there as well. And let me flip here we go. Lots of people come here regularly, folks living in the area. Laurel Park is a nice little town. A bit on the conservative side for my taste, but very pedestrian friendly. There's sidewalks. If you live in this town, you can pretty much walk anywhere and get, you don't have to get into the car and drive. If you want to go to a nice hiking trail or whatever, you can just walk there and then walk once you get there. So I'm kind of jealous about that. I can walk along the area where I live, but it's not very safe. And because mine is a very winding mountain road, I have to really watch out for the cars. You have to pretty much make sure you're visible, not go out late at night, all that jazz. So, that sort of thing. Folks who are joining, thank you for joining. Always appreciate the likes. Always appreciate the company. As I've been saying on some of my previous walks, I spent a lot of time over the last 2 years traipsing through the woods alone. So it's always nice if I can have somebody join with me. All right, here we go. We are coming up onto the sort of a woodland part of the trail, and just for fun, I am trekking myself on the Old Trails app today. So I'm slowly but surely starting to document all my different walks and trails, and you could tell it's been raining, not yesterday but recently, because this little flow of water right here along the path usually indicates not all of the water had drained out yet. But the trail itself is quite dry, quite nice. They take good care of it. This is maintained. And as with so many trails in the area, we do have a bit of an incline. Not terribly steep. Definitely not like the one I had to deal with last Sunday. That one kicked my butt. I think over the entire 9-mile hike, I ended up putting on something like 5,200 feet of elevation. That's a lot of climbing. So, this one's not bad. This is actually a fun trail. When I did this in the summer, I did this when it was pouring rain, and I had so much fun. No idea why I like hiking in foul weather so much, but I do. So there we go. And this was nice. It was fun. Rhododendrons were blooming. This is why this is called the Rhododendron Lake. These are all rhododendrons and great big tall pine trees. And spring and summer, this is really pretty. When things start waking up, when things are blooming, it's really beautiful. Lots of birds here, lots of squirrels. Well, of course, squirrels are flipping everywhere. Little invaders. Hey! Oh, no worries. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. No, it's no worries. As long as you don't mind hearing to me huffing and puffing. Like I said, I spend a lot of time hiking solo, so it's always nice to have company, talk to people, and I hope you enjoy. This is where we get some nice scenery here. Just really nice woods. Yeah, there are people living here, but still, outdoors. And let's see. So this is where the trail intersects one of the roads, and there's another secondary trail down over, and we have a little creek here, and it's sort of a little, let me show you guys, little rest stop right here. Oh my god, I can't believe, do you see these white patches? This is snow from 3 weeks ago. These are really stubborn, but this is one of the spots I really love. I always pause here when I hike here. Such a pretty place. Just gotta love the sound. And this water is like pretty much all the streams and all of the lakes in the area is ice cold. In the summer, it's fun to step into it, wade around. It's okay now as well, but not without being prepared, because you dip your toes into it and you want to yelp. So, moving along, somebody's really nice house here, and something you guys, I know if you follow my nature walk videos, you have seen this particular scene. There's a little pond here. And there are actually fish in it. I think these are bass. I don't know how they keep this water, from freezing. That's not hard. Keeping it from freezing, but yeah. Here they are. Look at that. Just hanging out. And I've seen them here pretty much year round. And again, the beautiful sound of water moving. They just sit here and just watch the fish as therapy. But yeah, I mean, they're clearly well fed, they're comfortable, having a good time. Yeah, we are going to keep moving along. So, from this point on, we have a lovely little climb. Not very long, probably about a quarter mile. So again, just to help you feel a little bit of the burn, but nothing like the trails around Chimney Rock or Arboretum and Pisgah. Those are brutal. And again, this is such a good trail to walk. This is actually a good one, again, if you want to come with kids, if you want to come with dogs, so where you don't have to work too terribly hard. This is a really good one. So we are going through a warm spell in the area again. Today's supposed to hit 60 degrees, tomorrow 62, and I'm actually considering doing some of my cold swimming tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. You're going to have to feel it. But so at this point, between Panorama and Woodbine, so the trail splits. The left side is an easier loop. It goes back down into the apartment complex around the Rhododendron Lake. This one goes up and further. I am not sure, that's why I'm tracking myself, but I think this trail total is roughly, I want to say 2.5 miles. So you can do it in under an hour. This is where I used to like to come in the summer when it didn't get so dark so soon, because it's a nice little trail to just kind of knock out, keep your step count up. So, but again, very easy to follow. We are actually walking up on another trail marker. Here, see this little post here? So that's trail marker. These are all along. And in addition to these, there are also there are blue blazes on the trees. And they're actually nice ones. They're not painted on, but see, it's a little metal tags that is attached to the tree, so can't be easily removed. And not sure if you can see this, yeah, but there's also blue markers just on the trail, on the stones like that. So really well marked. They did a good job, and like I said, they maintain it very well. Because we live in the area with interesting weather, we do get trees falling here as well, but they remove them pretty well. Yeah, Gabby, I do cold swim. I am not as systematic about my cold training as Stuart, but I think we're comparable in what we can stand and how long we can stand in cold water during the cold season. I always joke that I have antifreeze for blood because my maternal grandfather was born in Arkhangelsk in the extreme north of Russia. So it's the place where it gets so cold in the winter that if you pass through a village of log cabins, you can hear crackling from the water trapped in the logs that's freezing and expanding. So, plus again, growing up in the Soviet Union often had interruptions with hot water and electricity. So it's kind of it's something you grow up with, you just kind of get used to it. So one of the problems about people's perception of Russia is that it's snowing all the time. You know, people watch movies like War and Peace and Dr. Zhivago and Anna Karenina, and it's snowing all the time. It's not like that. So the former Soviet Union went across multiple climatic zones, from polar to subtropical. And I've been in most of them. So where I lived in the southeast of Ukraine, it's a considered moderate climatic zone. We had very hot summers, very hot, dry summers, complete with really terrifying dust storms. To this day, I'm wondering whether when he wrote his Inferno, Dante must have seen an electrical dust storm. An electrical dust storm is when, in addition to the dust cloud, the dust particles rub against one another and accumulate enough electricity to produce lightning. They're very dangerous because they usually happen after a spell of very dry weather. So those lightnings can start some serious fires. But we had dust storms like that, and I've seen them, and it's an awesome sight, but it's also scary. It is scary. It looks like hell. And also we had very dry December and January, and then February was exceptionally cold, windy, and snowy. So that's just one area. So it's not all, it's not always snowing. There are many areas where it is like that, but it's not like that everywhere. Oh. So where are we now? So we're on the downside of the trail. We're going to have another climb. Here's something that you see fairly commonly around here. You see that bump on the tree right there? That's burl wood. That's fungus that infects the tree. Sadly means the tree is dying. Yep, this tree is probably going to come down. See how it is? Very eaten out. So that's a shame. It's a nice big tree, but see those a lot. There's a running joke that North Carolina trees have butts. That's what the butt is. It's burlwood, but there are artisans who actually purposely collect wood damaged by burlwood and make beautiful things out of burlwood. I actually have a burlwood vase at home, and it's lovely. Here we are, another trail marker. Here we go, and we have another beautiful little stream right here. And they put a little bench here. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Here we go. Yeah, this one amazingly didn't go all sprawly, so we can walk fairly close up. And this is an example. So if a tree falls across the trail, they'll remove it. But if it's trees like that, it's just hanging out. See, it's just they're going to leave it here. It's not on the ground, so it's not interfering with the flow of the creek. It looks like they did cut off a branch here, which probably was hanging all the way down to the ground. But otherwise, they just left it as is. And here's another one. So, no big deal. And again, this is cold. Cold, cold, cold. Since this has been exposed to sunlight, this water probably is not quite at freezing. It is probably, I want to say, about 40 degrees. Well, hang on, let's find out. Yeah, this is not awful. This is palatable. Look at even the moss is surviving. So this is a little bit dangerous for wading. See this? See these little green patches of moss? That's very slippery. So usually when I hike, I wear shoes with good soles. I wasn't gonna go wading today, so I didn't wear my water-friendly shoes, but in general I do. In the summer always, because it wouldn't be me if I was walking around in the summer and didn't want to stick my feet into the water. So yeah, but yeah, that water is not too bad. Again, we had a spell of warmish weather, but check this out. So this is funny. So tomorrow high is somewhere between 58 and 62 degrees, which is great. To me, that is swimming weather, regardless of water temperature. Tomorrow night, it's going to fall down to 20 degrees. Then we are talking Fahrenheit for our friends abroad. So, and they're saying we might actually get snow overnight. That's crazy. This weather is so bipolar. But again, I shouldn't really complain because this is the mountains. This is typical. Doesn't surprise me at all. You know, I've been living up in the mountains over 10 years. This is normal. That said, you know, folks, if you like outdoor anything, definitely consider coming out this way. Specifically, the city of Asheville, we call it, you know, it has its own weird. It is a very weird town. Extremely liberal, extremely diverse. It's kind of this little island of freedom and diversity in a very conservative state. And amazing nature. Just flipping amazing. Of course, it sits right next to Blue Ridge Parkway, one of the famous wonders of the United States, which is now open. I saw last week they reopened it after most of the snow finally melted. But also all kinds of trails, all kinds of places to go. There is the Gorge, which is half an hour from where I live. There's, of course, the Biltmore Estate, which is amazing. Just all kinds of places. There's so much to see here if you're prepared to stay on your feet. This is not the area for the sedentary folks. It really isn't. It's for people who like to move. We do have, sort of in the larger area, 2 luxury hotels. One is Grove Park Inn. That's the place where all the presidents stay when they come to the area. And another one in the Highlands. There is the Highland Hotel, which is also very beautiful. Both those places are designed for if you want to sit and do absolutely nothing with your adult beverage in hand. And they're both very beautiful. They're gorgeous. But I get bored sitting still. So after like a day or two, I'm like, no, I gotta move. So I usually stay active on my days off and my vacations. So some more beautiful. I love these trees. Love tall trees. I mean, I love all trees, but love nice big trees. Always just awesome to see them. And on the general tree scale, these are actually not the oldest. They're fairly old, but I mean, compared to some of the, if you go deeper in the woods, compared to some of the stuff we have grown here, it is fairly new growth. And you can tell by the number of deciduous trees in the area. So found out recently this terminology. So deciduous trees are stage 1 trees. If you think about it, if you've ever been to an area that's been hit by a wildfire, what are the first things that appear from underground as the forest begins to recover? Deciduous trees. So when you see a lot of those, you can tell that's new growth. Then come the other ones, you know. But of course, they have a green stay around. So this is, we are way into a residential area. Again, it's nice, so people are kind of used to seeing walkers, hikers here, so nobody minds. You know, occasionally you'll meet somebody's dog, which is fine. I love dog. I met a really cute dog during one of my last hikes. So sweet. It was a white pit bull. One of those pit bulls that's like so white it's almost pink. Oh my God, she was such a sweetie. One of my dogs has had a surgery recently on her hip, but I'm considering taking her along on this particular walk with me when she feels a little bit better, when she starts moving a little bit better. So this, okay. So this here, this road here, fairly large road, so the largest road in this town, is known as Laurel Park Highway. And if you follow it in that direction, you go that way, you will get to another fun place to hike called Jump Off Rock. So I will check and see if I can do a live from there, because it is a really beautiful place. Aside from the signal, I'm also not sure logistically how I'm going to pull it off, because it is a fairly steep trail. There are places, because I am gravitationally superior, also known as short, I have to literally sit on my butt and slide down to the next trail level. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. You know, how I'm going to slide down the trail and climb and hold the phone. But it would be an interesting challenge. I do want to do this. I have been thinking about what other places I can show you guys. And that's Jump Off Rock is definitely one of them. Of course, there's a super sad legend associated with the name of the rock. You can look it up. You can Google Jump Off Rock and find out. I don't know why people are always jumping off rocks and starting such sad legends, but hey! Hi, Stacy, how are you? Sorry, I was yammering. I was busy yammering and I just noticed you. How you doing? Yeah, I actually have an armband. Have you? I have an armband, so that possibly might be. I might like strap my phone to my upper arm and do it that way. It is kind of again, Jump Off Rock has technically 3 trails, but 2 of them overlap. And I usually do them as an overlapping loop. My family's okay, Stacy, as well as to be expected. They still don't want to leave, so nothing I can do about that. So, you know, living in proximity to Russia. Good times for all. So we are coming up on a really interesting place. A historic place, actually. If you guys see that little bit of a stone wall there? We're almost there, and it's one of the prettiest places I know, just in general. And I've been many places, many cities, many national parks. So this is one of those times when as I start thinking about all the different parks I've been to, honestly, I wish I had like a private jet so I could pop over to Rochester, New York, where I went to college, and take you guys to Letchworth National Park. That is an amazing place. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. Saskatchewan, haven't been there. That's new for me. So, we are coming up on a place known as the Crystal Spring. Once upon a time, this was sort of a resort town. Think about everything you've heard about the town in England called Bath. So where wealthy people went to work on their health. Well, this is what this was. And this spot right here was the landmark. So this little path over here is called the Cupid's Alley, because lovers would come here. It's all very romantic and lovely. And there's a nice little bench here. So, through the Cupid's Alley, very appropriate since we have Valentine's Day coming up, we come to Crystal Spring. This actually used to be a well with a communal mug, and people could drink from it, and then they built this nice little arch. Let's just stand and listen for a sec. So, and it's not at all uncommon for people, especially children, because children are kind of magical like that, to leave little gifts. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? See the little painted rocks? Somebody left little gifts to the spirit of the spring. Isn't that lovely? Let's see if I can... Okay, how is this not freezing? It's coming out straight from the mountain. Somehow this water is not nearly as cold as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so if you go down, you can actually climb down back to the road, stepping on like those stones over there. You can go down, and in the spring and summer, this is a really, really pretty picture here, because there are flowers. They plant flowers all over here. And people also leave flowers right there, right next to the spring. See? Yep. That had to be a child, because I see little dwarf figures. But yeah, so this is Crystal Spring. And again, you can probably Google it as well. If you Google Crystal Spring, Laurel Park, North Carolina. And again, this tree has kind of just been there since I discovered this trail. It's cool. I like it. And it's just kind of hanging here. I hope it doesn't fall down. Oof! Tree dust. Right in the eyes. Yeah. So that's Crystal Spring. That is, yeah, such a pretty spot. And I've been here a couple of times under great duress. When I literally ran out of house and went walking in tears. And this is a place where I sort of like to come to not fix everything, but at least do some partial initial healing. So, but yeah. So, and right down there by the road, we have a sign that talks about the history of Crystal Springs. But again, mostly this is just a very nice residential area. And again, look at these stubborn patches of snow. I can't believe it. This area does get sunlight. How the heck did they stay? Yeah, now that there's a sign that says this is a non-potable water, means you can't drink it or use it for cooking. But I'm kind of wondering, I'd love to run an analysis, and here's the sign from the 1890s. So this arch we see was built in 1910. So it is well over 100 years old, and this is what the spring looks like from the bottom up. Sorry guys, you all got like sun right into your eyes. So do I. But yeah, this is very beautiful, and you can come out here. It's totally fine. And this is considered a geographic center of the town of Laurel Park. And you can bring your picnic here, bring a sandwich, bring some coffee or whatever, and just sit down on the rocks or on the benches and just chill. Just hang out. It's important to chill and hang out. The woods here are not as dense as around my house. Where my house is at is more of a wilderness. Technically, I always have to explain this. People ask, where do you live? Because I'm autistic and I'm obsessive about precise details. I have to explain that I don't technically live in any town. My address is Hendersonville. My trash pickup and utilities are Fletcher. And my fire department is Mountain Home. And if you were to look where I live on a map, you'll see nothing. This is a big splotch of green and nothing else. So it's really kind of hard. And it's not at all uncommon for people to lose cell signal right at the bottom of my driveway. So we always have to explain them that. But again, still some nice, very tall, very lovely trees. And this is another reason I like coming here to hike in the summer or to walk. Again, this is not a hike. Hike is something strenuous. This is more of a nice, energetic walk. But when I come to walk here in the summer, it's nice because this area feels, honestly, like 3 or 4 or even 5 degrees cooler than the rest. It's a little bit higher up. Slightly higher elevation than the overall area, and there's like all these trees. This is why we need to hang on to the trees. They're not just like producing oxygen, they also produce shade. Shade is very important. It helps keep things cool without having to waste energy to keep them. So, and this is like a nice winding road here, and again, where this is, people drive here, so you kind of have to keep an eye on cars, but not too much. And once again, our friends, the rhododendrons. In the summer, this is a little bit more interesting because people have beautiful gardens here, very well kept, and they have the kind of gardens that I like. I don't like gardens that are overly manicured. too geometrically perfect. I appreciate the work that goes in there. I appreciate the concept, but I don't like them. Most people in the area have like these little kind of slightly chaotic, colorful, with different colors, different textures kind of garden, and I love that. I'm surprised I'm not seeing squirrels today. I am genuinely surprised because on a day like that, they would be all over the flipping place looking for food because that's what they do. My squirrels already raided um, the bird feeder today, so they have fulfilled their mission. I need to refill it. Haven't seen Gandalf in a while. Haven't seen Gandalf since earlier this week, so I don't know where he's at. But Mr. Squirrel was there. He brought another friend with him, so they had good times were had by all. And we are headed towards another body of water, slightly larger one, called the Rainbow Pond. I don't know why it's called Rainbow Pond. Hey, have fun. Have fun, enjoy your lunch. Have a good day. Let's see. Yeah, so, we're getting to a somewhat confusing street sign. One of the more confusing ones I've encountered when I go walking in residential areas. Unless you know where you're going, there's like no way to tell. Seriously. It's like somebody was having a bad day and just stuck a bunch of street signs onto a post and said, "There, you people figure it out." I'll show you in a second. It's a little uncomfortable. There's like power cables right above my head. I don't know why they hung them so low. Oh well, who knows? Here we go. So, that street sign right there. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 different street signs on it. Personally, I would need a map to make sense of this. I just happen to know where I'm going because I know where I'm going. The first time I came to this, I was like, oh my God, who came up with this? Who made this atrocity? That is not good directions. And if we were to follow this on a map, we're actually kind of into the second half of the trail. At this point, we're past the halfway point. We are back approaching the Rhododendron Lake Park. And we'll definitely navigate the lake there when we get there. So, but yeah, you're starting to see through the trees. This is a rainbow pond. Again, not sure where the name came from. Not sure if we're going to see any duckies. Usually, well, not usually, I shouldn't say that. It's on and off. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're somewhere else. I know they like to visit. And it looks quite a bit different right now in the winter than it normally does in the summer. So in the summer, yep, there. See a couple of duckies there. In the summer, the entire surface of this pond is green. It's this tiny, tiny, tiny little, pond life that fish and ducks feed upon. Yep, we have some aquatic citizens over there. Not ducks, geese. I see at least one goose. So there must be some still because they are definitely munching on something. And right now it's very calm. There's significantly more life at this pond. in the warmer months. So, but you can see, you can almost see all the way to the bottom, all the way to the bottom of the water. It's fairly shallow, but yeah, in the summer there's ducks, geese, tons of butterflies, and particularly dragonflies. So many dragonflies here. Oh, it's so beautiful. They're dancing, they're having fun, they're having a good time. So this is a fun little sort of a nature life habitat to observe in the summer. Yeah, and it looks like our goose is staying, yeah, two geese is staying closer to the shore, probably have their nest there. About a month from now, they'll be starting a family, most likely. And you'll see in March and April all these little fluff balls waddling around, all the little goslings. Always fun to watch them. But so yeah, this is the Rainbow Pond. And now, again, like any water, I'm addicted to watching water. It's just pretty to watch because it's sunny and it's rippling and it's all sparkly and shiny. On a nice day like this. It's windy, but it's not too bad. Should look up. I really should, as I prep for tomorrow's hike and possibly swim, I should look up what the wind is going to be like, because that does make a big difference. Even in warm weather, up here in the mountains, the winds are very deceptive and underhanded. So I have to go see, are we going to have any gusts? Where? Should be interesting. Always do your homework, folks, before venturing into nature. She doesn't like to play around. I know that some folks are like, well, what about spontaneous adventure? Well, not at the cost of your safety and well-being. We are back into a residential area here. Somebody having fun. Somebody's doggy's playing around. This is a good time to play with your dog. I mean, it's always a good time to play with your dog, but this is a really good time to play with your dog. There it goes. Happy pup. My dogs have a very different attitude toward playing fetch. My oldest dog doesn't play at all anymore. He's like 15 and very big and heavy. He likes to lie about and ponder the meaning of life. Phoebe, the pit bull, will go and examine whatever it is you're throwing, but might not bring it back because why? She doesn't quite get the assignment. The only person who likes playing catch of all the dogs is the miniature dachshund, Cooper. Cooper is another good one I should take with me. That's a good easy trail for him. He used to be my constant walking companion, but he doesn't like cold. He's so short-haired. He doesn't like cold, and he will not keep his sweater on, because that's just not his thing. So, but he loves playing fetch. All right, we are almost. So we went basically in a big loop, and we're almost back to the lower portion of Laurel Park Highway, the road that I said leads you to the jump-off rock. My only problem with like with all the mountain roads with Laurel Park Highway, it's not strictly speaking a highway. It is a fairly decently paved and reasonably maintained mountain road. It's extremely winding. There are several blind intersections and blind curves. And unfortunately, as with so many mountain roads, its edges are crumbling. So part of our problems out here in the mountains, both with roads and driveways, is that when it rains, the water runs so swiftly downhill that it undercuts the edges of the roads and driveways. So unless you reinforce them regularly, you have these kind of precipitous little ledges. If you drop your wheel into that, that's a broken axle waiting to happen. So, but yeah, so here we are at Laurel Park Highway, and we're coming back to our park. Here we go. Drive is another way to get here. I usually take a little shortcut to get here, but this is one of the primary ways to get to this park. Again, the little sitting area, talking about the canal. And how it all came about here. Lots of birdhouses here. Because again, Asheville area is very much about conservation and preservation of wildlife species. So it's not at all uncommon to see the tracking stations, which is basically numbered birdhouses where folks can keep track, okay, which birds have moved in on during a particular season. Did they stay? Were there any eggs? Were there any hatchlings? That type of thing. And the vines that you're seeing here, that's actually, for a change, not kudzu. That is ivy. Not quite as destructive, but unfortunately also parasitic. Growing here for the same reason as the kudzu, to minimize landslides. But again, not having a natural predator or natural climatic control, it too had spread almost out of control and destroyed some trees. Again, like I said, it's not as bad as kudzu. It's somewhat slower, not quite as pervasive, but still a good lesson to us all not to transplant species before studying what they're going to do in a different climate. Oh, and we have some bamboo here as well. That's right. And bamboo. Somehow bamboo lives here really well. There's lots of bamboo at the Biltmore estate. Again, it's very strong, it's very tough, but you got to make sure it doesn't invade. Because once it wants to go somewhere, it's going to go. And of course, it is super fast growing. Crazy fast. It's really good for minimizing noise. You know, if you want to plant wall to minimize noise, dust, have some shade, good. But again, read about it. There are several species of bamboo. Some of them are easier controlled than others. Make sure you get one that is better controlled. And here we are. We are back to the Rhododendron Lake Park. So this road runs parallel to where we first came in, to the path where we first came in from the parking lot. It's getting hot. Right there is the path and the picnic tables and the little workout area. And some more. See? There it is. We've come full circle. Hello. Somebody wants to say hi. Hello. Hi, gorgeous. Yeah. Oh my goodness. How you doing? Yes. Thank you. Enjoy your walk. See, this is the fun part about taking walks. You meet people, you meet animals. Good times. So now we're going to take another branch of the same trail and go down to that little catch and release fishing lake. This was also an awesome place to walk in the fall. Oh my god. Of course, again, I'm super biased because the fall is my favorite time of year. And here in the mountains, honestly, we have just such amazing display. But loved this place in the fall. So now you can actually see the pond through the trees. In the summer, basically spring to fall, you can't, because this all the foliage, flowers, birds flying, butterflies, again dragonflies, all kinds of wildlife. In the pond there are frogs, and there is a turtle. I saw the turtle twice, but I couldn't film him because he didn't like to be a movie star. So every time I would come close to him, he dove. So last year, during a particularly nasty series of thunderstorms and the associated torrential downpours, this entire path, all of this, was washed out. So they had to basically recover it, re-gravel it, reset those steps over there, redo everything. It looks really nice now, and they wisely put a new and improved drainage over here to keep it from happening again. So this is again a cute little creek. So let's go. Let's see how the water is. Oh, this is cold. Okay, so this is moving water. And it is freezing. are. You're at the pond. And again, usually all these plants are very pretty, but right now it's a little bare. And this is my favorite part of this pond. This pond is divided into two portions by this little stone bridge. I don't know why I love this so much, but I do. So even though I would be better served to go around, improve my step count, I just can't help myself. I always have to go across the little stone bridge because it's just awesome. If this looks familiar to anybody, by the way, first of all, I've shown this many times in the nature walk videos, but also because I filmed my alternative endings trailer, which is pinned at the top of my video list, right there, right on that shore, right where you see the path. That's where I filmed it, in those trees over there. So this is my historic location with the autumn colors filter on it, because I was hoping I would have normal autumn colors by then, but the autumn has been so warm that it was still too green, so I was like, screw it, and I did the autumn filter on it. So this is one half of the pond, and this is the other half. And again, if you watch my videos, you've seen this view many times, and I sort of don't really get tired of it. It's so pretty. In any weather, and I've been here in just about every weather. Cloudy, sunny, hot, cold, rainy, especially rainy. This pond makes awesome sound when it rains. And I'm looking to see, nope, no ducks here today, no turtle. But again, this is residential areas. There are some houses, and a big dark blue house over there on the shore is actually apartments. It's split up into the apartments. And I'm like, where was that when I was renting? Because I would love to have an apartment with this view, don't you think? This is beautiful. So let's go around. And all along here, let me show you, there are these plaques, which I think it's awesome. Talking about the flora and fauna here, not the crazy twins from the Addams Family, but the plant and animal life in the area. Yeah, usually there's some ducks here, but unfortunately not today. They're not interested today. And on warmer days, you can actually see fish in this little segment over here, separated by this nice little bridge. But not today, also, I don't see them. But yeah, there's, again, warmer weather, there's more fish, more frogs, more everything. So, such a pretty little path. We're very close to the parking lot. I'm almost back to my car, but there's one more thing I want to show you. So, when we get there, you know what I mean. I hope the path to it didn't get washed out, because sometimes it does. Let's see. And I always forget a little bit kind of exactly where it is. There's no marker. I have to follow the sound. We have here another lovely waterfall. So they've worked a lot. Yep, here we go. So they worked a lot on this park to improve, well, basically everything. Circulation, water quality, the habitat quality for the wildlife. So this is all part of it. Um, here we go. So this is a little bit slow today. So you can still see it. Last time I was here, it was right after some big rains. Yeah, so this is artificial, as you can see. But still, it's nice. Look at this. And there's like stepping down sort of path for the creeks. Sorry. Slow, the ground is soft. I'm trying not to slide on my ass. There we go. And again, this is another lovely place where you can grab a sandwich, grab a breakfast or whatever, and just sit here on the rocks, dangle your feet in the water and chill. Such a pretty sound here. Who else wants to just like sprawl out here and just hang out? And I think, folks, since I'm almost back to my car, this is where I said goodbye. Thank you so much for coming for a walk with me today. I'm so glad the signal held up, and I'll look for more places to share with you. There are other parks, other areas for me to show you, for all of us to enjoy. Until then, be safe, be well, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you again next time.